Hi, everyone. This is John Walsh, and the topic is one-hit wonders. It always seems to be followed by a negative comment. They weren't talented enough to come out with a second hit. They could only do one. They were here and they were gone. I don't look at it like that. I see it from a whole different perspective. I grew up in the 70s in Los Angeles. We had KHJ radio, 93 KHJ. I loved it. I listened to it all the time. I credit that station giving me the foundation that I have in music today. There were no categories for music. Most of the time, you didn't even know who the artist was. KHJ would put out the weekly top 30. We had to go down to our local music store and you could see who the artist was. These were the songs that were on the radio. And whether the artists came out with a follow-up hit or not, those songs are living on. Those songs follow us through our lives. Some of these that I remember are 50 years old, and they're still out there. You can never tell when something's going to be a hit. You can never tell if it's the time, it's the place, it's the generation, if people are ready for something or not. If that same song that was a number one hit were to be released 10 years later, would it perform the same? Maybe, maybe not. But saying they've only had one hit, it makes it seem like the rest of their body of work is meaningless. There are some artists I've explored and I'm not as drawn to them. But there are other artists where I've listened to one song and I start to explore their catalogs and I become a fan. Instead of saying they've had one hit and that's all and they couldn't do any more, I hope we look at it differently and say, this is a huge achievement. Put those on and I'm right back where I was when I was a kid. Think of one from your childhood. Would you listen to it today? Is it still in your mind? Do you remember how the song goes? Do you remember the lyrics? I'll bet you do. Something you haven't heard in years. And because it meant something. They became hits for a reason. And it doesn't mean that every hit is a song that I like, but every song that is a hit is a song that I respect because they achieved something. When I think of one-hit wonders, I always think of them positively. They most likely did an album of work, which you can check out and you can see if you like it or not. Just because it wasn't heard or didn't make the top 10 doesn't mean they didn't produce material. How many times have you heard a song that has attracted you to the artist, the band, the group, and you like the music? I can't tell you how many times I have listened to a band. I liked one song, but I finally looked into them. I said, this is good stuff. How come these two songs didn't make it? How come those aren't hits? These are great. It's hard to say why. But it doesn't mean that the artist is not a success. They did something, they have a hit. They've checked that off and nobody can take that away from them. I think that is a great achievement. I say we turn that around and look at that as a matter of respect because they did it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Keep writing. Talk to you soon.